This is a dangerous groups that we're dealing with now. This is a dangerous groups that we're dealing with now. This is a dangerous groups that we're dealing with now.
It's a new year.
And a new season.
24/7 Buff Fandemonium isn't just a page.
It's a family.
A passionate group of positive Buffalo football fans
who embrace the character and fight of this team.
We strive to embody this passion
and present a fan-first perspective
without all the fluff. Enter the K-Gun Report.
Season 2.
The first season was exciting for 24/7 Buff Fandemonium.
Talking football, connecting with fans, and having quality conversation.
This season we're stepping it up, and we want you all to come be a part of the conversation.
On March 9th, 2021,
the K-Gun Report
is back.
Let's go, Buffalo!
This is a dangerous group.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bills fans, welcome to 24/7 Buff Fandemonium presents the K-Gun Report, Season 2, Episode 44. The Fu Manchu Show.
40 Fu.
We did it. Last week, in episode 43, Scott threw out there, if the Bills clinch playoffs, why don't we all just do the Fu Manchu? And we
really
clinched the
excited.
playoffs this week now, didn't we?
Yeah, we sure did. My wife's really, really excited about it. She was really excited about us clinching and then not very excited about this thing that I got going on here now.
It was a mix of emotions. I did it right after the game, and you guys were like, "Oh, I can't wait to shave it on Tuesday." I was like, "Son of a, you guys are gonna wait? God
I'm gonna go
damn
all
it!"
the way till Tuesday. Yo, hey, big up to like our boy Brent Thomason, who did it right away. We had some other people that came out. Ryan Hickman did a sweet video. Where Parker took it. That was sweet. Man, yeah, I just never had it in my head that I wasn't going to do it any other time than right before this. So I don't know. And I think if I have it very much longer past this, my wife's going to be mad. That's okay.
Yeah,
You guys
It
look
grows back.
you guys look like tag team wrestlers, dude.
Oh yeah, brother.
I'm trying to do my best Brent Thomason impersonation. You motherfuckers, I don't got anything.
Hey, I got white gold stuff down in Arkansas.
So
Get
the reason why
cracking.
we did this is because the Bills clinched a playoff spot this past week. Whoop! Oh
Hey,
yeah,
Jared, I was talking to Swank real quick. It's like I'm all excited about clinching a playoff spot. Do all fans of all teams get this excited for a playoff spot? I mean, we went through that drought, 17, 18 years of drought, and now it's like, yes, the AFC East is awesome. I can't wait to take care of business this Sunday and win the AFC East and have bragging rights. But we're in the playoffs, guys. We're in the playoffs. You got to be excited. You got to be excited. Our season is extended already.
Yeah.
well, if no one knows who we are, I'm Jarrod. Joining me tonight, we have Scott
Hey!
and Swank.
Yo.
And we also got the Fandemonium here. We got Mark Hayes, Marie Monford. Welcome back. Josh Cook, Lisa Peckian, John Johns, Josh Cook. I already said that. Ellen Lartz, Aaron Gill's watching. Debbie Emerton,
Oh,
John
wait,
John.
wait, 1 second. Wait, who was that last? Who was the female you said?
Debbie Emerton.
You mean this?
Do you have an
Debbie
image?
Emerton?
Debbie
Who
Emerton
also
is committed to 24/7
Yo.
Buff Fandemonium, and she also supported the Fu Manchu.
Hell
Thank you, Debbie.
Debbie.
Swank, do you have the other pictures I sent you
Which ones?
by any chance? Of
All
who
of
else?
them.
Of
No.
Ryan and okay.
No, I didn't put them up.
Okay.
That
Josh
should have brought that up in
Gavazzo's.
production meeting, man. I don't know. You're embarrassing me.
Man.
Oh my god.
What's up, Josh
Production.
Gavazzo? New guy. I like seeing new names on here, guys. Awesome.
Oh hell yeah, man. Welcome.
There's Debbie. Debbie's picture just came up. It's awesome. Thanks, Debbie.
And Buffalo Spartan is here.
What's up,
This
Spartan?
is Sparta.
Scott, you want to throw out there really quick what's going on with Buffalo Spartan?
Buffalo
Is it-
Spartan is a friend. He's a super fan of the Buffalo Bills. He's got his own Facebook page. He's one of the biggest fans out there. And he came into a series of unfortunate events a little while ago. He had surgery and it laid him up a lot. And when I say a lot longer than what he expected. So I know Buffalo Autographs and I think Shot for a Cause Inc. Started a donation raffle. The jersey is from Buffalo Autographs. It's a Josh Allen jersey that we're donating with the raffle, autographed COA. It's $10 a spot. Visit our website or Buffalo Autographs website for information. $10 a spot. You can donate as much as you want. And then I think Sunday,
5:00, right?
5:00 will be when the donation is done. And then we'll figure out who the winner is. But it's all going to a good cause to Buffalo Spartan.
I tell you what, boy, that's a good boy. He's trying to get some funds to help his chugging arm, I hear. So that's be good, real good there, boy. I understand. Love you, Buffalo Spartans.
Also, you mentioned Ryan Hickman and Buffalo Autographs, our lovely sponsor. Next week, episode 45, we have something going on. We haven't done it in a while. It's going to be a giveaway show. And how do you get entered in to win that lovely red Buffalo Bills mini helmet signed by Mr.
Andre Reed.
There you go.
Hey,
Andre
wait a
Reed
minute.
signed mini
Andre,
helmet.
You mean a former guest of this here podcast and live stream?
Yeah, of course.
Friend of the show,
yeah.
Andre Reed? Wow.
Yeah, look at that. Nice little, there's the authenticity right there, the little tag there. Giveaway show. And when we mean giveaway, we really mean giveaway. You come on the show, you leave a comment during the show, you're entered on our Fandemonium Wheel of Destiny for a chance to win. That's it. You don't have to share, you don't have to tag anybody, you don't have to have so many likes. You come on the show, you have a drink, you enjoy the conversation with us, and you can just say go Bills, and you're entered for a chance to win this. And we want to thank Buffalo Autographs, our partner, and Ryan Hickman. That's where we got it from. And if you have bad luck and you never win anything, you can always go to www.buffaloautographs.com and straight up purchase this stuff.
Straight up.
Not tell me.
This stuff. Shane Becker's here. Troy Pedito. Troy, welcome.
What up, Troy?
All right, guys. Also, if you want, personal message us your address. We'll send these bad boys out to you.
Hey, Debbie.
Big boot, baby face bass.
Oh, sorry, buddy.
Oh, you're okay. And the red 24/7 Buff Fandemonium shit.
Sure.
Debbie, I'm looking
Sticker.
at my PayPal. If you want to send it to me, I'll shuffle it. I like how she was wondering if we figured out a PayPal route to get in on the Spartan donation, and I think Spartan said his is locked currently, but if you find a mule, they can take the PayPal and Venmo it to me.
Yeah, tell Debbie, you've PayPal'd me a bunch of times. Just send it my way.
There you go.
That way, Swank, don't worry about it.
Okay.
Debbie, hook me up, and I'll send that money straight to Buffalo Spartan, and we'll get you on that list for a chance to win a Josh Allen COA authenticated home jersey. It's a sweet looking jersey, let me tell you.
Teamwork makes the dream works,
You ain't
guys.
kidding.
Do you see this? Buffalo Spartan just said, appreciate the love, guys. Was initially told 2 weeks out of work, and it went to 10+ weeks out of work.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, man.
Get better, dude.
Yep.
Get better. All right, Fu Manchu Challenge. We are here. We did it. We're gonna. How long are you guys gonna rock them for? As soon as the show's over, we're gonna even it up.
Well, Jarrod, this is a show 24/7 Buff Fandemonium also has a show on Sundays. It's Sunday sessions with Scott Swank and Ryan. So I'm going to keep it all the way till Sunday. So during our pregame show, you'll see me rocking it.
That makes sense because you were the first to cut it before the game was even over.
I might as well be the last one to get rid of it, huh?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I can make it till Sunday, dude.
See that nice garage Scott's in right now? He's gonna be there for the whole week.
Yeah,
I think.
he made it real comfy.
Hey, man, I got a 75-inch back there. I got a refrigerator. I got heat. I got everything I need, except for the love of my life and my children.
Aww.
So go inside. Go inside. Come inside, Daddy. Come inside. All right, guys.
Troy
Let's
says
get
his
after it.
goatee's too pretty. That's why he didn't cut it. Come on, Troy.
Troy Petito wanted me to send him $500 to shave it. He's like, I'll shave it if you give me 500 bucks. And that was like yesterday about midday. 5 hours later, he goes, seriously, Venmo me $500. I'll shave it. It's like, man, I ain't doing that.
You guys saw how good my beard was. Like, come on.
Yep.
Come on.
Yeah.
This is all that's left. That and playoff
Picks
berth.
up-
Baby.
Take the dogs out for a run, and it's really cold now. Really cold. All right, yeah. Our Buffalo Bills manhandled the Atlanta Falcons this weekend. It was a great game to watch. What was his final score? 29-15.
Mm-hmm.
Vegas had it dead nuts, man. 14
Yeah,
points.
Yeah. And what was the over under? 44.5. So they didn't make that, but hey, got
But
pretty
the
dang
spread-
close.
The spread was right there, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
It was a fun game to watch. The first half was kind of scary. Before we get too much into that, Scott, let's just let you take off with the good, bad, and ugly of the game. Pandemonium, let us know what your good, bad, and ugly was.
Well, thank you for letting me lead the way. Bad and ugly. I'm going to have to say the 4 turnovers, the 3 interceptions by Josh Allen. Yes, 2 of them were tipped, but they're kind of little parts of the game that seemed like Josh was trying to play a little hero ball. I know the announcer said it a few times, but the guy, he wears his heart on his sleeve, guys. He's going to do anything he can to score touchdowns, and that's just part of the game for him. Some games he'll go 3 touchdowns and no interception, no turnovers, and other games, unfortunately, I think we're going to see this a little bit. And it's just the way Josh is. I don't think we're going to get away from it. But those 4 turnovers led to 12 of the 15 points. Field goal, a muffed punt turned into a safety, and then a touchdown from the interception. So the bad and the ugly is just going to be the turnovers. Josh Allen forcing the ball a little bit, and then the good out of that is we still came out with a win, 14 plus points. My good, I had a lot of good. I'll start with the offensive coordinator. At times he did frustrate me a little bit, but I think Singletary was used properly. He was used properly. And what I mean by used properly, guys, isn't just the correct run plays, but it's letting your running back get hot. Letting him get hot. 23 carries, 110 yards, 2 touchdowns. And guys, I think it's hilarious that I put out a post earlier this week talking about Singletary, and it's just fitting. That post ended well. It ended well. It's just fitting that he goes ahead and does 4.8 yards a carry, but don't let the focus just be on Singletary. Moss was also used appropriately. 5 rushes, 39 yards, and a 7.8 yards a carry. So guys, this is exactly what we want. This is part of my good too. Our running game is coming alive. And the good is that we have 2 games at home in this cold 20, 30 degree weather with rain, snow, and wind. We're going to be acclimated for the playoffs because right now 2 out of the 3 wild card teams are either a dome team or a warm team. So the good is the way it's all falling together, coming together. We're playing a bunch of home games in our territory with our climate, and our running game is coming to life. It's all, guys. It's coming alive.
It's all good, man.
It's all good.
When the getting's good.
Mm-hmm.
You covered it all, Scott? You threw the good, the bad, and the ugly in there.
I want to leave some stuff up for you guys. I could talk about the defense good, but you guys going to talk about them or what? You want me to keep going?
Why don't we circle back around to you?
All right.
We'll go. Swank, what are your good, bads, and uglies?
I mean, the uglies are those picks, man. And it's kind of unfortunate because he had that Josh Allen first quarter statement like, I'm going to run this right down your throat. I'm going to run it in the end zone. We're going to have our way with you no matter what. And then that first interception was a little like, okay, Josh, like whatever. And then the second one, I feel, was making up for the first one and trying to put it somewhere that it wasn't going to fit. And then the third one coming out of the half, that was just gut punch, man. And this ties into my good. After that, didn't matter. He came back. He put the team on his shoulders. He ran his ass off. Motor ran his ass off. They still weren't afraid to throw it. He still had a couple passes through that 2-point conversion into B's, all that stuff. They still were successful. And as ugly as that was, I I'm glad it happened. I'm glad it happened right now. I'm glad that that was like a little wake-up call. And the good is that he was able to bounce back from that. The whole team was able to rally around him still, even after throwing 3 picks, which is the difference between him and Baker Mayfield, by the way. And being able to do that and be adaptable is exactly what you want right now. Mm-hmm. I'm going to piggyback on what Scott was saying, man. The good is they're figuring out how multidimensional and diverse they can be and successful they can be at many different offensive styles. And the defense is still just as gritty and grubby as always. So the good is overcoming and getting it done. And this is the time of year you got to do that because, as Josh has said for the last couple of weeks, every single game from here on out is a playoff game. Mm-hmm. So those would be my good and uglies. The bad, man, I don't know. I methink there wasn't a whole lot of bad other than the picks to me, you know. Mm-hmm. I think this one was a little like left right for me. And just the good was really good, the bad was really bad, and we still came out. So,
well, I got a bad for you, Swank, which is I think why you're having a hard time picking a bad.
That might be.
We had 0 point yards. We had 0 point yards
again for 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah. But it's a funny stat because it's like look at this is the way the NFL is, dude. Last week, that stat was like, oh my God, they didn't punt. Holy Christ. And this week they were like, oh my God, we didn't punt. We threw 3 picks.
Right, yeah, there was a trade out for that. But I must say those picks, the 2 picks that he threw in the first half were, and this is part of my good if you're superstitious, right? We're going into the playoffs and we're not going to hear over and over and over again that Allen hasn't thrown an interception inside the red zone at all. So he got that out of the way. So we don't have to listen to that jinx. So I think that's a good. And the other interception was inside the 35-yard line. So they were driving to score. So there must, maybe if they didn't throw the pick at the third quarter, that would have been a potential punt, but you don't know, right?
I got my bad. Sorry. Got my bad.
Get it.
My bad goes out to Jordan Poyer because he's a bad man for that stupid Matty Ice. I always had respect for Matty Ice, man. Matt Ryan, I think that he's gotten screwed over. I wish he would have smoked the Patriots and held on to that lead. I think it's a horribly mismanaged, stupid franchise, and they really just literally had a fantastic team and let it all crumble. And that's not his fault. And I always put him in the same category as like a Drew Brees or somebody like that, a lot of class, just a guy you want to root for. And him jawing at Jordan Poyer for Jordan Poyer just making a play and then getting a taunting penalty and then getting the touchdown taken away and not scoring any points.
That was doesn't that
go back to your good guy situation, Swank? When the good guy decides to taunt, it comes back and kicks him in the ass. So Matt Ryan decides to taunt, and then guess what? Comes back and kicks him in the butt.
It's just the same shit like when I was in like grade school because I was always a good kid, and if I decided to go out of my element and do something bad, I got caught. All my buddies, they could be smoking cigarettes in the principal's face or doing whatever, but me, like, hey, did you throw that snowball?
Who's that kid? That's Swank. He never does anything. Get your ass in here.
Over here. And they're all like,
look at Swank getting in trouble again.
Cougher.
Guys, and I saw a lot of things on Twitter saying, explain to me why that wasn't a touchdown. And the rules are simple when it comes down to that. If Matt Ryan dove head first, put the ball across the goal line, that would have been a touchdown. But because of the move he made, we're now in an NFL where you can't assume that he meant anything. So the move he made is an automatic giving up. So as soon as he went down to his knees, it's an automatic stoppage of play because they can't assume that he was trying to protect himself. They're assuming that the play, that's a give up motion. So that's why that all went down. And because the penalty happened, a taunt is a taunt regardless of before, after, or whenever. So 15 yards was added to that, and the rest is history. But Matt Ryan's move was a give up play.
The assumption play, that assumption word that you used kind of bit us in the ass 5 years ago. So that they're really sticking to that this year now, aren't they? He was going to down it if he caught the ball. So my good, I have a Buffalo Spartan said his good was the stiff arm by Allen. That was a sick stiff arm. His guy was like lateral to the ground. It was nuts. But mine was a Singletary, again, rushing 23 for 110 yards, well over 4.5 yards carry, 2 touchdowns. What sticks out most for me was the fact that he had more than one angry run. He was determined. He wasn't going to be knocked down. Even that touchdown that he had where the guy was like on him, like rodeo cowboying him, and he just put him on the ground and stared at him afterwards.
Oh, I love
and I
that.
bet you, yeah,
The
it's like
motor touchdown, that was beautiful. Yeah.
So his off season training, I think, has paid off very well.
Good Morning Football has Devin Singletary in the last 2 weeks as an angry run. The guy's 5'7", 205 pounds. He's not King Harry. He's Henry. He's not the big running backs of the world. And in 2 weeks in a row, the guy is coming in to what we need him to be at the perfect time. 2 angry runs. And he pummeled that safety. Pummeled him.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go back to what you were saying in that post and what we were saying last week. He hasn't arrived. He's always been there. He just has not been put in those situations. And this is what he's done nothing but work and work and work. If you gave him this workload, and I know different situations, we finally have the right combination of offensive linemen healthy out there, I think. They have a whole season under their belt. The best part about the offense this week to me was that it was that Whitcomb mentality. They weren't hiding the fact that they were running the ball down your throat. Mm-hmm. They did it, and they were successful at it, and this is what we wanted all year, right? All these guys are gung-ho about the run. You got it right now. Like, if they can continue this up, I don't care if it's against the Falcons, the Jets, whoever. You get this right kind of continuity on the line, and then being able to make the right blocks, and you have the right guys out there, and then you have Motor out there trucking guys, I'm fine. I'm fine with it.
You know what I love? The interesting stat that came out this week, and it's hidden, and sometimes you don't see things until a player's successful. Ryan Bates at left guard, guys. Mm-hmm. Ryan Bates. I know Spencer Brown coming out of the draft, he was given that relative athletic score, that RAS score that they've been talking about, and it's based off athleticism. He scored a 10 out of 10. That's your height, your weight, your speed, your strength, your agility, and your flexibility and all that stuff. 10 out of 10, Spencer Brown. Ryan Bates was also in the green in that test. So these Buffalo Bills front office are going after these guys that may not necessarily jump out at you in the draft or the combine or even playing in the NCAA. But these scores are telling you a lot about how athletic they are. And if they're smart, well, you put those two together, guys, you're going to have a hell of a player in the first after 2 or 3 years. And I'm excited for Ryan Bates. I think we may have found we have a 100-yard rusher this week. And Ryan Bates was a left guard during that time.
We've said it before. Bates should be out there. They've been holding him back, we think, because he's a backup center. Feliciano's played center. Right now, I'd rather have Bates out there. I also wanted to, not to toot my own horn, but I texted these guys earlier this week. In the beginning of the season, we were talking about Tommy Doyle.
Mm-hmm.
And how wouldn't it be interesting if, he's got some tight end experience and he took over that Lee Smith type of role. And that's exactly what he did. He's out there. Big dude. Throwing out some super tight end, big guy blocks. So
hell yeah.
That was cool. That was very cool.
Spike, were you sitting looking at the TV going, I said this was going to happen. Look at him.
You know what's funny, dude? Didn't realize he was even out there until after the game.
Right.
Then I started watching some replays, and I was like, well, oh my God. Look at.
I heard a handful of times the ref in the background saying, number 72 is coming in for the eligible player. Eligible receiver. Yep. Like, oh, Swank, you nailed that one.
They nailed it.
That's right, brother.
All right, guys, no one's talking about that D.
I know, so that's what I was thinking. We should go around again, man.
All right, let me get my bad. Allen's passing numbers, 3 picks. Obviously, 2 were tipped. We'll cross that out. My ugly, really quick before we get to the defense. Stevenson was my ugly. I don't know how long they're going to keep him on kick returning. I mean, we have McKenzie, and I know what he did 2 weeks ago. He lit up the New England Patriots. But I feel like if we have all our receiving core coming back, we can still fit McKenzie in there. But McKenzie adds a fire to the special teams that Stevenson just doesn't seem to have. And I don't know if he needs one to break in order for him to catch that. But he seems stiff, and he seems like he's going in a straight line every time, where McKenzie at least had some back and forth. So my ugly was Stevenson, especially that fumble. We don't need that, obviously. But I say get McKenzie back there. It's getting to be about that time of year where, we need a spark. We're going to need a spark every once in a while, and I think McKenzie's the guy.
I'm glad you brought that
first
up.
guy over there. Yeah,
I'm glad you brought that up. Shane Becker even says that. Why was he running into his own players? If you guys watch Sunday sessions, I kind of had Stevenson having a breakout game, and it was a judgment of not personal character, but his confidence in his ability. The guy is a speedster. He's been a special teamer. He was successful in college. He needs to get over that. I need to make the perfect play and just do what Roberts did and do what McKenzie does. Put your head down, find that hole, get your ass through it, because if you make it through that one hole, you've got daylight, and that's when you can show everybody your speed and your ability. He's not doing that. He's running in the players, and he's hesitant. You see when he's coming up to that hole or where the hole was, he's starting to stutter step and trying to go somewhere else. You need to hit it hard, get through it, and then we'll be able to see a Stevenson that I think has the potential to be.
Is that part of the reason why McDermott kept him in? Because he knows, that's why I said it a couple seconds ago, is he waiting for that big spark to happen in his career where it's just going to take him off? McDermott keeping him in here for that?
Because sometimes all you need is a player. Sometimes all you need is a player is just for something that you think can happen, happens.
Yeah, you get a taste of it.
He's got to be out there. Yeah, how do you know? I think that it's exactly what you were saying, Scott, earlier in Sunday sessions, where it's like he doesn't have the experience. So you've seen him be more hesitant than he was the other day, like last week, right? Where he wasn't committing to holes, he wasn't doing anything. This week, he's like what we talk about, epinesa and all that. He's like a puppy. His feet are going faster than his head's going, So now you see him, I'm getting the speed up, I'm running into the back of these guys because he's still not committing to the hole, but at least he's getting up to speed, right? And you see him, like, what he do it 3 times where he ran into the back of one of his own guys. And, we were sitting in there, me and my buddy and my wife, and my buddy's just like, what is he doing? What is he doing? And I was like, the first thing I thought about was what you said. And it's like, he's trying to figure it out. But how do you do that? You can't get that in practice, right? That's not live. Right. They're not going to torch off on him and collapse and whatever. So I think, I want to see what he does this week. I don't think there's any point in benching him this week.
No,
Isaiah,
not yet.
I think give him this week. If he drops one,
I agree.
Or if he doesn't, if he isn't more productive, then fine, go with Little Dirty. They had Micah Hyde out there for a while. This last Sunday too, and he's the safe guy. Yeah, so do that. The biggest thing is to get the ball back into Josh's hands. That's the biggest thing.
Right, you said that week 2. Yep. But yeah, I agree. I'm full agreement with you. The fact that he needs to get his flavor, he needs to get the taste. If he gets a taste, you never know what's going to happen. And good point. This week is not a good week to take him out. Let him keep getting it to see if he can't get that before the playoffs hit. But if he doesn't get it, then what? We'll see what happens, I guess. Right?
You see the best ones do it. And I'm still going to go back to that hole that you have to hit that closes quick. And if you don't hit it, you're going to run into someone. It happens to the best. Devin Hester, happens to Andre Roberts, happened to Deion Sanders. You see them head their ass right to that hole. You see them get plugged, tackled right away, or you see them. You just got to do it. You just got to put your head down, Stevenson, and go. Just keep going. I think he's got it. We just need to be patient.
Sure.
And McDermott's definitely being patient. Let him be out there after that fumble muff. Like you said, Swank, if you're not out there, you're not going to be able to do anything. So you need to keep him out there.
And what do you do? Like, you're talking about McDermott is the guy that let Nate Peterman throw 5 interceptions, right? Like,
yep.
You didn't pull him because you believe, you got to get through it. I think if you're looking for somebody to be dynamic, they need to have that welcome to it moment. you know,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe this last week was it. You know, he fumbled once, he didn't fumble this time. You know, I don't know. Well, I guess yeah, he did fumble.
At least it was early.
That safety, dude. It's like completely out of my mind when I think about this game.
Okay.
And I'm sitting here saying like, that was the ugliest thing was the interception.
And then he muffed another one. I mean, he muffed another one. So he'll get
But
it.
that just goes hand in hand, right? It starts from the beginning. Punts in the air to catch. He has to catch it. The fact that he isn't holding on the ball that great, getting the secure catch, and then the way he's running, he still has those jitters. And I totally understand that. But there's got to be a time where you'd be like, okay, now you can't cost us a playoff game because of this. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Remember,
So
he missed half the season with injury. He just came back to us a couple weeks ago. So
I'm pulling for the young kid, but
Yep.
it's a business, right? So essentially, if it keeps happening, Mackenzie for me. Lisa says, Micah's the best safety in the NFL. Fight me. I think that's a good way to lead into the defense.
I think that's a great shirt, dude.
Yes. Fight me. Scott, go ahead. What do you got with that defense?
I have Taron Johnson.
Animal.
I have the corners. Watch the pass plays. Ryan, one of my favorite quarterbacks in the NFL, his deep balls, guys. Watch how these corners are starting to understand. Turn your head, find the ball, make a play. And it's evident compared to 8 weeks ago, compared to now, guys. This defense, our corners are looking fantastic, and they're doing exactly that. They're turning the head, they're finding the ball, and you're not getting those pass interference calls. Taron Johnson had a hell of a game. He had a quarterback sack. What's that, Swank?
All without Trey White.
All without Trey White, guys. We had 5 sacks on defense. Russo, Oliver, Addison, and who I think might be the defensive MVP for the Buffalo Bills this year, Harrison Phillips.
Give it to me.
Six tackles last week with a ton of double teams. 4 tackles this week, ton of double teams, a sack, and a fumble recovery. This guy is coming into his own. Him and Ed Oliver, those two paired up in the middle. Latulier, guys, these young bucks.
Jumping in really quick, Scott. The best part, I think, one of the biggest highlights of this weekend's game was the fact they were spotlighting Phillips. A play before, he manhandled his guy, pushed him back into Ryan. That's when Russo came and did the strip sack, and then he recovered it. I was like, what perfect timing was that? Mm-hmm. Phillips is an animal.
Yeah, and what happened? He needed time, right? He needed time to get in there and develop and get comfortable. So there we are. Like, I was hoping you were going to get to the line. I almost had – I think that I'm going to count my prediction as correct because of Groot's not just a sack but the forced fumble. You know, I think it's a two-banger. Yeah, but I was real happy to see everybody eating. You know, the young guys, the old guys. Obata.
Mm-hmm.
But Harry, man, he is an animal right now. Him and Eddie, dude. I just literally, again, another part of this team that is coming into their own at exactly the right time. You wanted those two to gel for years now, and it's happening. You know, and like we said last week, we were talking about Harry possibly being cut at the beginning of this season.
Absolutely.
So
we were.
It's awesome.
Look at the energy they bring too. Those guys are fired up all the time.
Yeah. And
you think those guys, because they rotate quite a bit. You think those guys following them in or coming to replace them, and they're going to let that energy go? This is a good thing.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh man, it's.
I listened to an interview today. Angry Harry, Horrible Harry was on with Steve Tasker today, and Steve Tasker asked him about that, the rotation. How do you feel about the rotation? It seems like you and Ed Oliver are coming into your own and all that stuff. Is there a difference? Do you feel confident in the rest of the guys that you're rotating in with? And you know, Horrible Harry said, listen, they're putting us out there more often because they see what's happening. He's like, I feel that we are developing a wonderful relationship, me and Ed Oliver. He's like, every other guy, I have the most confidence in the world. But he's like, Ed Oliver and me are starting to come together, and we're bouncing off one. Because I'm telling you, when one's not getting double teamed, the other one is. And you could tell which one's not getting double teamed because the other one's creating a hell of a pressure on that quarterback or stopping the running backs for losses. So, Swank, I love the conversation we had last week when you said Ed Oliver is a little hot-headed. He's a little hyper. Harrison Phillips is the perfect compliment for him because he calms him down. He's that zen for Ed Oliver, and he's still destroying everybody, Harrison. So, guys, this defensive interior, I know we spent a lot of investments with our draft picks on this defensive line, but you got these guys coming back next year, and I hate to jump to next year, but you add Justin Zimmer into that mix, dangerous.
Yeah.
Dangerous.
Danger zone.
I like to one point I want to make, and it might just be arbitrary and whatever, irrelevant. I don't know, but
It's never relevant, Swank.
well, it's just like a pattern. So look at Micah and Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
Now look at Harry and Eddie.
Yep.
Look at Josh and Stephon Diggs. You know, there's like Edmonds.
Find
and
your buddy.
Milano. Dude, every level
Find your
there
buddy.
is that duo of guys that have risen to not only the leadership part of like this team, but also performance, and and making it light. How awesome was it to see Ed Oliver just he took the whole game back after that third interception. He took it all back. That sack changed all the momentum. It didn't matter what happened before that. It was over, and he knew it. And he fed that whole stadium, and the game changed just like that. And I'm not saying it's all him, but he took it on his back as now a veteran player that's been there for 3 years and wore it. And he did a great job, So I mean, it's just great seeing that. It's great seeing Jordan and Hyde. It's great seeing, Josh and Stephon. It makes it fun, but you also know these guys' work ethic is crazy, and when they perform, it makes you cheer for them even more, and you're like, this is like solid all the way through the team, dude. Like all the way through your starting lineups, you have two solid dudes that are like committed like to each other's game plan and to the team. It's just, I don't know. I love it.
It's interesting. During that conversation, Harry was talking about, and when you hear the offense call out the double team, you realize what player's not getting double teamed. I didn't even know that part of the game. But hearing him say that, it's like these guys know before the play is going to start that they're going to get doubled on some of these calls. That's pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty awesome. So he's like, the faster you guys can get together and figure stuff out together and complement one another, those calls will make your life a lot easier. Swank, there's a term that they call that, and it's called complementary football.
Rest in peace, John, man.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. I just want to throw out there really quick, Debbie Emerton, Poyer is the best safety in NFL. Chug beers, no fighting, which brings up a great point. The corners are playing how they're playing. The defensive line's playing how they're playing. There was a deep ball or two this past weekend that didn't land once again. That defense has to build most of that confidence off those two safeties that are the best in the league that got snubbed from the Pro Bowl, right? When you know you have Poyer and Hyde back there, then there's a confidence in front of them that you can't compete with. And I don't know if I always say the game starts up front with the defense and offensive line, but sometimes when you have guys like Micah Hyde and Poyer in the back, that makes that field small, which makes the defensive line better and the linebackers better. So those two are arguing over who's the best. They're both great, but they're both probably most important players on that field right now, keeping that defense where they're at. And I think they're still ranked number one.
Do you think I think it's getting really harmonious, man. I think everybody is just playing on that side of the ball, lights out, and nobody is talking about Trey being gone.
Trey, right?
I mean, how quick everybody was to shit all over Levi Wallace, and now he is acting like a shutdown corner. I know he's not Trey White, but he's playing his ass off. Taron Johnson's playing his ass. Dane Jackson. Look at the growth in Dane Jackson from week to week. It's just it's insane. And
it's one of those things. The less you hear about him, though, when you don't hear about somebody, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
And you're not really hearing much about these guys, which is a good thing.
We've played 6 weeks right now without Trey, guys, and our defense is still the number one in the league.
Mm-hmm.
By far, the number one pass team in the league. We know that we have our defensive rushing issues, but by far, still the number one passing team in the league that hasn't allowed a passing touchdown, I don't believe. I don't think so. Have we?
Knock on wood.
I don't know that stat.
Knock on wood.
I don't know the stat. But guys, we got a lot of people listening. Lisa, Josh is on. Johns, Keely Smith, Debbie Emerton, all you guys on here. I don't want you to miss out on this. I know you guys are pretty reliable coming onto the show. But next week,
Season 2, episode 45.
We're giving away an Andre Reed helmet, mini helmet. Giving it away. All you have to do is join the conversation. Come on to the show. Do exactly what you're doing now and just talk to us. Just have that conversation with the Buffalo Bills fans of the world. Nice little Andre Reed COA helmet. It's not. Look at it. Say something. Say "Go Bills." You're entered on the Fandemonium Wheel of Destiny for your chance to win. And that we thank our sponsor, Buffalo Autographs, for that. Ryan Hickman over at Buffalo Autographs on www.buffaloautographs.com. Thank you, Ryan.
www. Guys, all right. So we're 10-6. Season's over. Oh no, wait, no. We have 17 games this season, so we have one more. We're hosting the New Jersey Jets this weekend. It was a 1:00 game. It got changed to the evening game, 4:15 or 4:25. Is it
4:25?
4:25. I don't know. I'm kind of excited about the timing because, it's obviously money. They want money, but is there any indication that whatever team wins in the 1:00 game potentially could mean that the Bills could sit players the second half? Does this benefit the Bills at all?
Nope.
No. All right.
All it's doing is making the Patriots and Miami Dolphins play at the same time that the Bills and Jets are. That way, no team knows who won prior, and that way they're both playing their balls off to try to win that AFC East.
Right.
That's what that's all about.
All right, Scott, you might as well keep going. What are your thoughts about this upcoming game against the Jets? Jets.
I'm excited.
Swank.
Swank, yeah. Guys, there's a lot to be excited about. And I said it earlier. This is our second home game in a row. I think it's perfect that the season's ending with 2 home games because we can get acclimated to this weather. We can get acclimated to the fans. We can just hit the ground running and playing in this 20 to 30 degree cold weather, whether there's precipitation or not. We know Josh Allen can handle it. We do play Zach Wilson, a completely different quarterback than we played the first time we played these guys that we beat 45-17. Zach Wilson brings up a part of the game that we didn't have before. He likes to extend the plays. He likes to roll out. But I'm excited to see what Frazier roll out. I'm excited to see what Frazier does. I think we had 5 sacks last week. My bold prediction. Are we going bold X and all that stuff now?
Yeah.
My bold prediction is that we're going to get 6+ sacks this game, 6+ sacks. And I think Taron Johnson, because we saw what the Bills did against Miami with Tua, these younger quarterbacks, they tend to bring that. They never bring that corner blitz. But every once in a while versus these young guys, they tend to do that. Taron Johnson's going to get two of those sacks. So 6+ sacks. Taron Johnson gets 2 of them. I'm going 35-10 only because I think it's an NFL team. They have to score a touchdown. X factor. I think because, like I said, we are playing a scrambling quarterback. Russo, Addison, Hughes, Epinesa. They got to contain. So I think our defensive ends are going to be the X factor of this game. But there's a lot of injuries the Jets have right now. They're starting running back Michael Carter is in concussion protocol. Elijah Moore has a quad injury. Crowder has a calf injury. Those guys are all practicing, but those are leg injuries that come back pretty quick. And I know their offensive line is struggling. McGovern's out on IR, and so are Mekhi Becton. Guys, this is a game, and I said it last week against the Falcons. The Buffalo Bills, if we are who we thought they were, they should be able to handle these guys pretty soundly. And I'm believing that they will. The Josh Allen threw for 366 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and our running backs actually had a good game, 7 for 43, 6.1 average for Singletary that game, and they have the 29th ranked running defense. So we might see a lot more runs this game, but I think this is a game that they should handle pretty soundly all 4 quarters.
With the backups coming in the 4th quarter.
I hate doing that, guys. This Fu Manchu has got my double chin just saying, hello.
This guy right here.
You want me to get the
Swing.
banjo? I think this is a stay right game. They have those get right games. This is a stay right game. And I think you call a nice balanced, somewhat vanilla, but successful offensive game plan. And on defense, you just welcome Mr. Wilson to the NFL over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. I think that it's criminal that he's getting as much of the little credit that he's getting, and I think that this is going to be a defense that if they don't sack him, they pressure him and make him make mistakes, like we say over and over again on this show. And I think that my score prediction is going to be 38-6 because I don't think they score a touchdown. And my bold prediction is that Mr. Wilson's going to throw 3 interceptions this week. My X factor is going to be a 2-parter because I don't want these ladies to get into any more fights, but our safeties are going to have a day. Mr. Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde, so that love can be restored on the K-Gun. Harmony and rainbows and trumpets and all that bullshit. But they each get 1.
They said no fighting, just chugging beer. So
Yeah, I know.
they know how to do it. They know how to bring this up.
I just like poking the bear, you know.
Oh gosh, I love it. Swank, I have this. I agree with you with the no touchdown. I have 42-3, the Buffalo Bills.
I thought I was being disrespectful. You're being disrespectful.
I'm being disrespectful. But no, I agree with you. I think this is a stay right game. It's a perfect, way to say it. This is the game right before the playoffs, right? This is a game where if you were still fighting for a spot in the playoffs, this is gung-ho. You're going for it all. This is a game where you're going to keep the finesse, going to keep what you know best and how to put it out in the field. Defense is going to be there. They're going to be present. The offense is going to go in there with a game plan and dominate to crisp things up. And it's going to be a 42-3 score game. My bold prediction is I think Singletary is going to go over 100 yards again, but we might have 2 100-yard rushers. And I don't know if it's going to be Allen or Moss, but I'm just saying 2. Bold prediction.
That is bold.
Yeah, 2 100-yard rushers. X factor is going to be the whole team again, keeping the swag going into the playoffs. Even though we're at 4th spot right now, that's a home game. We have 1 home game for the wild card. If things go in the right direction and fall into place, we could potentially get the number 2 spot, which means home field advantage throughout the playoffs unless we play the number 1 team. So, got to keep it going. I know McDermott's not from last year. He didn't pull any of the starters, did he, against Miami, really until the halfway through the 4th quarter. So keep it up, keep pushing. They're at a home game again, Scott, like you said, so they're going to get acclimated to the weather still, and that's just perfect timing to host a playoff game next week, 11 days from now. So I'm excited about that. Perfect. What do we got going on?
I love that take, Jared. Real quick, I love that take. The running game. Think about what they're doing. Not only are they establishing Singletary, Moss, and Allen because we know that they have it, and Dable's just got to call the correct plays. But what's this doing to the teams that are going into the playoffs now and having to study the Bills' film? It's showing them that they might run the ball and they can be effective. So even if this is just a strategy to make it so these playoff teams have to start thinking about, oh shit, the Bills can run the ball. It doesn't matter if they're playing a 29th, 30th ranked run defense. They're still running the ball. They're going away from their game plan of throwing the ball 59%, and now it's 50-50. Oh, shit. Now we can't pin our ears back as a defensive line and linebackers and go after Josh Allen. It's loving it. Da-da-da-da-da.
So does it go back to was Dayball holding back the playbook? So it's like, no, he wasn't.
No, man.
No, he's just listening
Somebody
to
told
us.
me better get the shit
Listen,
together.
if he was, he definitely needs to go. Like, there were games that we needed to win. Most of our losses are to AFC teams. We could be sitting like on the top
Number
of the
one.
pile very easily right now. And I think that we can credit a lot of these losses, and I'm not trying to piss on the parade. I'm a positive Bills fan. But you can attribute a ton of these losses to piss poor game planning for the first half of most of those games. And I'm putting all that on Dable. If he was holding back, why hold back a successful run game until the second to last game of the year? You know,
Right.
I mean, either you knew you had a crystal ball and you knew how things were going to play out, or I don't know. What I think is happening now, and and I'll give Dable his credit. I think this last weekend he called it a clean game. There were a couple questionable calls. I probably wouldn't have ran Josh quite so much in some of those situations. I know some of those were audibles that he just was like, I'm taking it. And it's really cool to see him take off. But everybody, I think, in this whole chat and on all of Bill's Mafia social media has that little skip in their chest, you know, right before he gets tackled. And then until he gets up, you're holding your breath. I just think the answer to like all that is that they have their line. Like they have the line where they want it right now. And they're being successful blocking. And that's what they've needed, you know.
You guys ever put a puzzle together? And you're finding that one piece that like will finish off a section of the puzzle.
Scott, have you
and
ever,
you find it.
Have
You're
you
like,
ever,
I found the piece.
Have you ever
I found the
had
piece to finish
have you ever
this.
had a strawberry milkshake, Scott?
The Bills found that last piece of the puzzle with the offensive line, I think, the last couple of weeks. So, Swank, great point. That line is coming together, and it's perfect timing for it. It's all about timing. We always say, you know, you live, you learn throughout the season, but in November and December is when that team needs to come together and the pieces need to be found. And the Bills are finding those pieces, and everything's meshing very well right now.
The only piece I think the Bills need to figure out is that red zone offense with Dable. That's the only piece I think they need to figure out. They drive. We see it time and time again. They can get to the 30-yard line, but once they get inside that red zone at the 20, he's being too cute. He's doing too many of these rollout passes. I like rollout passes with Josh Allen, but Josh Allen, if you watch, he thrives on the rollout pass when he has a deep option. When you're doing it at the 20-yard line, there's no deep option anymore, guys. That you have another defender in the back of the end zone. So Dable needs to kind of hone in his red zone offense. Maybe give the ball to Singletary more, which I would be a fan of, but something needs to happen. It's like he's trying too hard, but we always use the word cute, fancy. He needs to stop and just score touchdowns. We need to stop this nonsense in the 20.
That's it.
There you go. John's 36-3. Mitch plays the fourth quarter and adds a touchdown to Davis. I like that. Caleb Frederick asks, who thinks McKenzie needs more touches?
Everybody.
Everybody does. Everybody does.
Yep.
Lisa, you know her score. 50-0.
Yep.
Buffalo Spartan 37-10. Bold prediction. Diggs has a passing TD to a lineman. Who's that lineman going to be, Swank?
Deion Dawkins was this close last time. It was hilarious that he said
The
that.
Schnurman. Yeah.
Why wouldn't it be Doyle? Let's get that Doyle in there. Get Doyle his TD.
Well, I mean, if you that's been the comment thread in the
I know.
comments. Everybody wants Deion.
I'm behind.
Yeah, that's okay, buddy. Yeah, I mean, I'd love it. I think, you know, the introduction of him this late in the season, there's just like a lot of positives. They have the momentum rolling into the end of the season and the beginning of the playoffs. I don't know. The thing that's going to push them through is, I think, Kansas City from last year. You know, I think
I thought about that today too, Swank.
You're going to have a lot of Diggs in the locker room being like, this shit is not happening again this year. Like, you come out and you play, and they're going to hold everybody responsible. I mean, they tried to talk to Josh after the game about his 2 rushing touchdowns, and he didn't want to talk about it. He wanted to talk about the 3 interceptions that he's got to clean up. And it's true. You can't throw those 3 picks. First week in the wild card round, you don't want that. You can't do that. Everybody's there to play, you know. So it's super interesting. They got a lot of options. I think, you know, now that they've reintroduced the jet sweep, Isaiah McKenzie's come off. Cole Beasley hasn't gone anywhere. Gabe Davis is still like highlight reel every time he's on the field. You know, we didn't talk about that.
His double catch. Yeah, his double catch there.
Talk about what the hell is going on. Like, can we get rid of these refs yet? You know, why does one line judge call it a catch who is right next to him? They have a conference. They decide it's not a catch. McDermott has to use a challenge for them to figure out that it was a catch. Why does that happen? And why is nobody's talking about that?
It should have been a challenge on the other end. If it's considered a catch, let the other team challenge the no catch. The guy that was there that called it a catch was right there.
Yeah. They're being really lenient with how they discuss these calls. And I feel that is not something that has happened across the NFL. You know, usually it's like you call it or you have a conference before you call it, you know, but you don't call a play and then huddle and then reverse the call. And then, you know, what about,
It looks even worse when they do the replay and you were wrong.
yeah,
It looks bad.
yeah. And well, it looks bad for the head referee to me
Mhm.
because that line judge had it right. He was right there. He's looking right at him. And I know it's like a bang, bang thing, but how do you reverse it? If it's that close on eyesight, how do you reverse it on the field? And who the hell had a better look at it? You know, to me, that's where like all this like cynicism comes from. And people are like, oh, Bills Mafia, they're paranoid, crazy people with tinfoil on their head. Like, who saw that ball better than that guy? You know, nobody. And it's ridiculous. Also, when did the calls that trump other calls start happening?
Yeah, that definitely happened.
I've never seen, like, I've seen it this year. I've never seen it any other time. And this is like the second time I think I've seen where a personal foul actually trumped whatever other foul happened on the opposite side of the ball. And what the hell? So you can hold... It used to be like, it's a ridiculous rule. I think a personal foul should be called. Let me just say that. Regardless, if you rough a passer and somebody else had defensive holding, like, I think roughing the passer should go. You know?
Right.
But that's not, like, nobody came out and said, like, hey, now that's going to be the rule. If you want to make it fair, dude, so roughing the passer's 15, defensive holdings 5. How about a 10-yard penalty for the offense? You know what I mean? The offense gets 10 yards and a first down. I could live with something like that. But you do that specific scenario, and then if it's not roughing the passer, but then a stupid penalty happens on the other side of the ball, like on both sides of the ball, it's a personal foul on one side, but not a personal foul, like just a regular old-ass penalty. Those just cancel out and replay the down. Like, what determines what cancels what out? No, nothing. Nobody knows.
Yeah, I don't have an answer.
I was surprised when I saw that too. I thought everything just canceled. A 5-yard penalty and taking the quarterback's head off. Offsetting penalties, replay down.
Yeah, that's what it's always been.
Maybe there's been a rule change, but I wasn't aware of that, and I was pissed off when I saw it too, Swank. Because like, I've always agreed with you on this is, yes, any personal foul should trump any other kind of foul.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because you can still get fined for it, whether it's
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Nope, they offset, but we're still going to fine this guy $3,000 for, no, I don't know.
It's
Yeah, I know.
asinine, man. And you can't have this. You cannot have this in the NFL. It can't be like some of the way for one guy and a different way for the other guy, and then black and white over here. None of this makes sense. There has to be clear-cut rules. And I'm sure if you talk to the coaches know, I'm sure. And I'm sure that's like something that they figured out in the off season or whatever. How was it not made a bigger deal in the media? I have no idea, because it changes the whole game, you know, like, and again, as fair as it can be, like, basically you're saying those are offsetting penalties, but this guy's penalty was worse, so we're going to take this and we're going to apply that, you know. It's like, how can you, I don't understand. I don't understand how it's not just like, I can't go to a website right now and understand what the rules to NFL football are.
So it would be interesting. An interesting call to see on the field would be if a defensive end was rushing in and a tackle took him and manhandled the end, holding, threw him down to the ground, and then that D end gets up and smashes the other guy in the face. What's called the holding penalty or the personal foul afterwards?
I think that those are going to be offsetting because
it was within the same
quarterback. That's what I think.
Okay.
I think like the personal foul aspect where they actually apply the yardage, all it has to do with is the quarterback. Because I think there was an example of that in the game on Sunday, where there was a personal foul and then some ridiculous stupid call on the other side, and they both just offset. But it would have been 15-5, you know. And then previous in the game, it was the roughing the passer call. And I also think they're still biased against running quarterbacks. I think that Josh Allen, nobody cares about him.
He got slapped in the head a couple times, no penalty.
Yeah. I was kind of nervous about that hide. If the Poyer actually, when Ryan scored that touchdown, even though they said he was sliding down, I threw a text message out to everybody saying, actually it was during the thread, that when Allen was sliding and he got hit still, I was like, unfortunately, they're going to call that every time, regardless of how hard they hit the quarterback.
Yep.
And then they met and they said, no penalty.
Yeah.
Right. So when Ryan gave himself up and Poyer still came in and almost hit him, I don't think he really hit him at all. But even though they said he was sliding before the touchdown, I was like, okay, now can they get him for hitting him while he's sliding then? And they didn't. Yeah. So, yeah.
That's one of those situations they can't add in a penalty.
All right.
They can't do that.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys, you want to do some? Go ahead, Swank.
No, I was just going to say, and I've said it before. I said it last week, I think. Like, I don't care how long the games are. Like, I just want them to
get it right.
Get it right.
Yep.
I don't care.
I get it. All right, Fandemonium, we're going to do some pick'ems right now. If you guys are up for it, besides the Bills game, and I think we all picked the Bills, we have one AFC East game to pick from, and we don't know the other ones yet. We leave that up to Swank for picking whatever games he wants to bet on. So we'll leave right off the bat with the Patriots and Dolphins. Fandemonium, Patriots versus Dolphins. Who you got winning that game, Scott?
Dolphins. Dolphins are out of the playoffs, but I think they're going to come in extra spunky. I don't like the way the Mac Jones was celebrating beating the Jaguars. I think he's getting a little too hot-headed for beating the Jaguars. We lost to him, yes.
Oh, he's the player of the game for having 215 passing yards and 3 touchdowns, right?
But man, oh man, Mac.
I can't wait.
It's coming,
to see them
man.
in the playoffs. I hope we play them first week. I really do. I know everybody wants the Raiders.
That would be something we could also discuss real quick before the end of the show. As I put out a post asking who the Fandemonium would want to play. So we'll get there in a little.
We'll do that after the pick'ems.
But pick'ems, I got Miami. They're angry. They missed the playoffs. Beat them up, Miami. Beat them up for the playoffs.
Mac Jones, he goes in there thinking that he's going to win the game, and the Dolphins go.
I was waiting for Scott to make that same noise.
Mine's more like a goat.
All right, guys, I'll give you guys a chance. I'm going to pick the Patriots because I do have a little bit of a lead on you.
Guys, a chance, dude.
So I'll pick the Patriots. All right, Swank, you got any other games you want to throw out there? Actually, before we do that, we have John's Fins, Lisa, Fins, Buffalo Spartan, Fins, Alyssa, Fins.
There you go. Chris Christian,
Paul Rossi.
Pats, 28-13.
Paul Rossi says the Pats. Howdy doody.
I got 2 more.
There you go. Let's do it.
They're the ones that matter. We're going Steelers, Ravens. We're going Chargers, Raiders.
All right. That's interesting, guys. I'm not going to explain the whole playoff situation with that because it's confusing, but there is one that comes up to where if the Chargers and Raiders tie, they both make it. And it's a weird situation. There's been conversations of if it comes up to a situation where both the AFC West teams will make it, will they do that? That'll be a boring game. No competition. Go ahead. So what are they going to
drive all the way down and kneel it? Drive all the way down and kneel it.
Steelers, Ravens, for one.
I'll go. Steelers are going out strong. I'll pick Steelers.
I have the Steelers winning, the Colts losing because I want the Steelers to make the playoffs.
I got Ravens. I think Lamar's going to be back.
Okay.
So that'd be an interesting matchup, right? If the Buffalo Bills play the Steelers again eventually in the playoffs, they led the season out with a loss against the Steelers, and to see them again.
Right now, we have the 4th seed. If the Steelers sneak in, they'll be 7th. We will be playing them.
There you go.
No, we won't. We won't be playing them.
Right, because the 2nd seed would.
2nd seed will play the 7th.
Yeah, we play the 5th, right?
Chargers.
But we could move all the way up if the Bengals lose, and if the Chiefs lose and the Bills win, we go all the way up to the 2nd seed. So there is a chance we could play the Steelers.
We could go 4-3-2. We can sneak all the way up.
We can go anywhere.
Could do it. Chargers for Raiders. Swank.
I'm going Chargers, man.
Raiders.
I don't think it'll really matter, but I think they'll get in.
Yep. Whoever wins that game is in.
Yeah, I think the Chargers are too strong for the Raiders.
I got the Raiders on that one, fellas.
Sarah, I can hear
The
every
Raiders.
crinkle in that bag in this microphone. You guys hear
That's
that?
some good
She's
audio.
got the beautiful Watson sponge candy she's getting into right now, and that's like the best. I don't know if you've ever been there. It's up near Eastview Mall. It's at the Walmart Plaza. Watson's Chocolates.
I don't think I've been to Eastview Mall in like 10 years, probably.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, we drive. We only go up there to eat. We don't walk through the shop anymore.
Oh, really?
Yep.
You go
Yep.
up there for what?
P.F.
the
Chang's
pretzels?
or the New York Buffalo
pretzel
or New York
kiosk?
Beer Project. Hank's Burger.
Orange Julius.
Julius, there you go.
All right,
Honey,
well,
you want to go get an orange Julius, honey?
Annie's
Lisa said,
pretzels.
"Let Ben retire. Let's have him retire." John
that.
Colts. John Raiders. Buffalo Spartan Chargers. Alyssa Raiders. Buffalo Spartan is watching. Where are you guys? What's going on, Lisa? Did we disappear?
So listen, what
Go ahead.
we were going to talk about that thing that Scott was going to talk about, and then I wanted to touch on AB and Baker quick before we left too. So
Okay, Scott, go
Move
ahead
around.
with what?
Go ahead with what I was saying.
Yeah.
I put out a post on the Twitch and on Facebook. What team would the Mafia want to play in the first round of the playoffs? Wild card if Bills were hosting. About 50% chose the Raiders, and runner up was the Patriots at 35%. So that's kind of interesting to play a team we haven't versus to play a team we played twice, and I think we can handle pretty soundly. So Mafia has chosen. They want to play the Raiders. Me personally, I would love to play the Patriots. I think we have their number. I would love to see Mac Jones come and play in weather again. And I think the Bills defense can handle the run game. So I think it's everything would play out perfect. Patriots come to Buffalo. We take care of Belichick and the Patriots, and we shut them up and silence the Mac Jones fans. I think that would be perfect for me.
that's what I voted
That'd be perfect
too,
for the
man.
Bills too.
Yeah, I voted for that. I think it would be great. That's one of the things we haven't done to Belichick yet is beat him in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that.
Can you imagine that confidence booster going into that next week though to
Oh,
beat
yeah.
the Patriots at home?
Yeah.
Yeah, I picked the Patriots too. It's just that'd be a feel good thing
Mm-hmm.
for all of us. Swank, AB, Mayfield.
Well, number one, AB. I'm sure he's got some issues. Obviously, that's like the actions of a man that's probably not well or not all there or needs a hug or some therapy or something. I saw this really interesting post, and I am empathetic with like mental illness and all that kind of stuff. If that is even the case, I'm also empathetic with addiction and all that kind of stuff. I saw a post where a guy was saying how horrible these things are if that is what's going on with AB, but also to keep in mind that people can just be assholes, and you can be an asshole and still have these problems, and that's okay. Like, not everybody who has problems is a saint. You know what I mean? And some of these choices that you make are voluntarily made. And I'm not politically saying that like addiction or mental illness and any of that stuff is like a choice, and that's very prevalent in most of our lives. But what I'm saying is that there's something wrong with AB, but he's also an asshole. And if you don't
Right.
like me anymore, I'm sorry. But I just do not understand what the hell is going on with that guy. Because you almost get to the point where you think he's got his shit back together. Because how many times has Tom Brady gotten like on the edge football players shit together for them? And then this happens and you're like, okay. Like if your ankle hurt, because there was these rumors that his ankle was bad, didn't feel like he could play. Why'd you dress?
Mm-hmm.
Why'd you even dress? You know, and why are you out there? Like, you know what it looks like? It looks like you were losing to one of the worst football teams in the league, and you didn't want to finish the game because you didn't want that attached to your name.
You weren't getting the ball to help out.
Yeah.
And you feel that you're the only answer to these problems.
Yeah. And then
Yep.
you threw a tantrum and ran off the field, and your team ended up coming back and winning because they had
Without you.
Tom Brady.
Mhm.
Like, you know, I don't know. I don't think with the pattern of behavior, there's obviously something wrong, but I don't think that you just get to excuse it because of your stature and your you know, like,
Well, the problem is, Swank, is every NFL team, because of the way CTE has molded our awareness on head injuries and psych, there's other psych issues that come outside of the CTE and the head trauma, guys. And the thing is, these teams all have psychologists. They all have professionals there to help monitor that. I know when he left Pittsburgh, it was all, maybe it's not AB, maybe it's Ben, because who else left there? Le'Veon Bell. But now you're thinking maybe it was AB. Maybe it was OB. These guys do get all the counseling they need if they're willing to accept it. And teams keep continually trying to get these guys on the team and trying to change them. I don't know AB's story. I don't know what's going on in his head, but the feeling I get, and I'm empathetic towards it all. I'm a nurse. I've dealt with psychology. I've dealt with patients that have gone through the stresses and gone through it all. AB seems like someone that is a spoiled rotten little brat that doesn't get his way, and he reacts because he's never got his ass slapped because he was naughty. And that is, I could be 100% wrong, but to storm off the field like that and to do what he's done in the past, sorry, that's just the way I feel. You hate to get political. You hate to make a poor judgment, but we all make judgments. And I'm tired of, he makes the NFL look bad, jumping in the end zone, looking like, relax.
But jumping in the end zone, let's go there, has set Twitter
meme.
off. Yes, has set everything off, holding signs. So yeah, I'm right there with the both of you guys. Mental illness is a serious thing, but I'm not a mental illness professional. I'm not a psych person or anything. So the spoiled brat thing jumped, that's what exactly it looks like. When you have kids, you see that. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Right? Did he go out there knowing that he was going to do that? And then when the time came, he did it. And now the focus is on him. But then Tom Brady comes back and wins the game, and it takes it right off him a little bit.
Well, Jarrod, there's also rumors saying that Arians wasn't playing him because there was $1 million worth of incentives that he was holding. The catches, the yards, the touchdowns. You keep him from that, he doesn't get the incentive pay. That's taking money out of someone's pocket. That would piss anybody off. But I don't think it was
still had a game left. He still had a game left.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, and that was another part of the story, sure. I don't know, man. So I don't know if we'll ever get the real story, because like if he comes out and he does have like mental illness or something like that, who knows where he's at in his right mind or whatever, like what the situation calls for. You just won't know. The other thing is, you won't know from the Bucs' perspective either, because if they really are being dirtballs, because I can definitely see Arians benching him because they think they got enough wide receivers there to get what they need to get without AB. But at the time, they were losing. And to be honest, he's not that big of a part of their offense, right? Like, I mean, he's there and he's productive, but it's not the same to me as like if, Evans and Godwin when they went out. So it's just interesting, and it's like AB doing AB things. You do wonder about, like, they're the Super Bowl champs that are about to go into the playoffs again for the second year in a row, and they have a good shot at getting to the Super Bowl, and you wonder what happens, so is it all about money? Is he sick? Blah, blah, blah. But it's just, I don't know, all the stories you've heard from like Pittsburgh on, and then that whole lily pad jump of the Bills, the way he talked junk on the Bills after the Bills tried to get him, and then going to the Raiders, and then leaving and going to New England and playing one game, and then sitting out, and then going to Tampa Bay. It's just like, it's too much for me, man. It's way too much.
Right. And like what Scott said, every team has a psychologist or whatever, psychotherapist. So all those teams have witnessed that, and there hasn't been something that was put out there about this guy needs help, and it's allowing him to go to team. I don't know. It's just, I hope the NFL didn't fail this guy, but I feel like they've tried and he's failing himself.
Yeah.
That might be the end of the story. You know what I mean?
Sure thing.
All right, guys.
Sorry,
Scott, listen, we got 22 people watching right now. What's going on for episode 45?
Tune in next week, fellas, ladies. We got an Andre Reed helmet, mini helmet, COA, authenticated, autograph, real. Everything's real about this. It's Mr. Andre Reed. You come on the show next week, you leave a comment, you're automatically entered to win this. That's all you got to do. Come in and say, hey, go Bills. And we will put you on our Fandemonium Wheel of Destiny, and we'll spin it the next day to find out who the winner is, and we'll ship it out to you, right? And we also have sweet shirts. We have 24/7 Buff Fandemonium red, white, and blue, 24/7 Buff Fandemonium black and white, and we got that Notorious Digs, an awesome shirt that Swank came up with for sale. $20 for the other ones. That's $25. Only $5 extra, only because that $5 goes to the American Heart Association. And if you want to just PM us and give us your address, we'll send you stickers. Jarrod, show them what the stickers look like.
Beep.
Pew, pew. But yeah,
We don't.
every Tuesday, guys, every Tuesday, 8 o'clock, we go live. Next week, we're giving something away, and all you got to do is join us.
Some big stuff.
Big stuff. And we can thank Buffalo Autographs, their Facebook page. Check them out. They do a bunch of razzes. Right now, we're doing a donation raffle to Buffalo Spartan. It's a nice home Josh Allen autograph jersey, $10 a spot, as many spots as you want. It's going to a good cause. Buffalo Spartan is a super fan, and he's been out for a while of work, and we're trying to help him out a little bit. So you could check our site out or Buffalo Autograph site out for more information. But next Sunday, we'll be doing the 5 o'clock p.m. The donations will end, and we'll do the drawing. So Josh Allen jersey up for grabs and an Andre Reed helmet up for grabs.
Swank, did I interrupt you? Were you trying to say something before I jumped in there?
No, I was just gonna ride on Baker for a minute, but
I
that's
get
okay.
Baker.
We don't need to. If you guys look on my Twitter account, I tagged these two guys, and there is this amazing thread that says all it said was, "What would you give up and trade for Baker Mayfield?" And some of the answers are just the best thing in the whole entire world. You really
English muffin.
Yep. Swank, the sock that's keeping my door open right now I could probably get more for it than Mayfield.
Oh God,
I
you went
said
there.
a red ringed Xbox with a PS2 version of Madden 08.
Oh,
That's what I would
Jesus.
give up for him.
Scott,
Man.
closing thoughts.
Closing thoughts, guys. It's week 18. It's the last week of the football season. There's a lot riding on this week. I know the Bills are already clinched a playoff spot, but we have a chance. We're watching the game the same exact time that the Patriots and Miami are playing to find out who's going to win the AFC East. But the 1 o'clock games are just as important because if we win, we have 4th seed. But the Cincinnati game is also at 1 o'clock, and the Kansas City game is at 1 o'clock. Both those teams lose and we win. We get seed number 2. You know what that means? That means we have home field advantage all the way up into the AFC Championship game. And if the Tennessee Titans are there, we play them at Tennessee. If we don't, we're hosting an AFC Championship game. Watch all football this week. We've got Saturday football, and we've got Sunday all day. Can't wait.
Boom. Before we get to your closing thoughts, Swank, Debbie Emerton would trade out weeds out of her garden.
What type of
Shane
weeds?
Becker, 12-pack of Natty Daddies. Awesome. Swank.
Dude, it's the gift that keeps on giving. I'm so glad that Baker is actually like getting the hate that he deserves, to be honest.
Close this out.
I forgot something. I'm sorry.
I got you, dude. Go ahead.
So like we always say.
Listen, he went pee, so he's got a new bladder. Now he can
I
talk
know.
for the rest of the night.
That's fine.
But we always say what we say, and I always forget the main thing, and the main reason why we're here, and the main reason why we do all this is the Mafia, the Fandemonium, the guys that come on every week and talk to us. I want to thank you guys. The season's almost over with, but we're having fun every Tuesday night talking to you guys. And with this whole Sunday sessions things that we do a pregame at 11:30 on Sunday, you guys are joining us there too. And I'm telling you what, it makes the week go by faster. It makes the week that much more enjoyable. And I'll tell you what, it gets me pumped up before the games at 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock to talk to you guys and have this conversation. It's exciting. And I don't thank you guys enough. And I just want to say that I do appreciate you for sure.
We appreciate you guys all. We
Appreciate
do.
you.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Swank.
Dude, 1 week away from playoff football, huh? I'm gonna tell you, I just can't wait. You know, I just can't wait. Enjoy this, man. 4 out of the last 5 years we've been in the playoffs. Your boy Josh Allen has taken us there 3 years in a row. It's insane. Cherish every single moment, and like we say pretty often, man. 17 years without it. You know, this is special. It's still special. It doesn't matter. It's still special. Keep your expectations narrowed and enjoy, celebrate, man. It's a great time to be a Bills fan. Also, it's a great time to watch this show and hang out every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. for the K-Gun Report, presented by 24/7 Buff Fandemonium. You can catch us on Facebook Live. You can catch us on YouTube. You can catch us audio-wise on Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, everywhere, man. Everywhere, dude. Everywhere.
Think your Fu Manchu got in the way.
Spotify. Also, don't forget the Fun Day Sessions, 11:30 a.m. Game day.
Hadley's going to join me for the final say here. If you can't hear in the background. Yeah, as always, it's always fun to come on here on Tuesdays, but what pretty much makes it is the Fandemonium participating in the conversation. I love getting you guys involved. I love talking football with you guys. 2 days after the game gets me time to think. And you know what the best thing about next Tuesday is going to be besides that Andre Reed helmet? It's when we're talking about the playoffs. What a perfect time for that helmet to come in, right, guys?
Hell yeah.
Stay positive. Root on them Bills this weekend. Let's hope things fall into place where we could possibly get that number 2 spot and host during the playoffs. But until then, until next Tuesday, I hope everyone has a good week. Stay safe and do what you do. Andre Reed helmet, glorious. As always, go Bills.
Go Bills.
Go Bills!
This is a dangerous group that